up, y'all? Today we're going to be working on the truck. What we're doing is we're replacing the headlights, the reflector, and might as well change the turn signals. I got a whole kit from DT Moto. Found them on eBay, so they're a good price for the whole set. Includes both sides, and like I said, everything here: the headlight, turn signal, and reflector. So I'm gonna be replacing them. Went over here a couple days ago to see how it's done. It looks like the headlights themselves, they held in by 3 bolts, one right here and 2 on this side. I don't think you're able to see it because it's kind of dark in there, but trust me, there's 2 bolts on one side and 1 bolt on the other, and it's opposite on that side. And then got to pull the plastic off the grill. Fortunately, on the Dodge, or at least my Dodge, they're 2 separate pieces. So you unscrew these, and I believe the turn signal and the reflector are all bolted into the plastic. So I'm gonna get that done, and I'll give you updates on it. Thank you. Alrighty, so I actually ended up taking the whole grill off. It just made it a little bit more room. So that's one thing y'all need to not worry about. If something makes something easier, just go ahead and move it out of the way. And I was correct. The turn signals are screwed into the plastics. So the plastics are structural, so make sure you do not break these. Reflectors, same idea. They got these little self-tapping bolts on them. This one looks like it's missing, but I'm not too worried about it. And I got new lights for everything, except for I did not know these were a thing. So I do not have these. So I'm going to come back later to replace these. These are just the side markers when you turn the headlights on or the parking lights on. I'm getting ready to pull these off. Yeah, theoretically you could come and just sand these down, but this one's broken. At least I believe it's broken. Yeah, there's a big crack in here, so I'm just going to replace them both. It'll be a little bit easier. On the driver's side, I don't have much room. Also, you can see it's melted too, but I don't have much room on the driver's side, so you might want to remove the battery and probably move this out of the way, the fuse relay box. Though I'm gonna see if I can get to everything. Also, headlight adjusters, they're kind of clipped onto the back of the headlight, so you're going to take those out of the way. Mine on the passenger side are actually completely rusted, so I can't do anything about those. With the driver's side, they're intact, though I think their rust is solid, so I'm gonna have to replace these eventually too. I think I can still get the headlight adjustment though, just by fiddling with the things with the pair of pliers. So I'm gonna take the headlights out. I got new balls for everything too. One mod you could also do, though I don't recommend it, especially if you drive this thing in the rain. It's plastic flat. Take that off. It's right behind here is the air intake for the tube. So take that off. It'll could put more air into the engine, though whether or not you want to do that, I really don't know, because I'm not sure how the ECU is. But take that, but that is something you could theoretically do. I'm gonna leave mine on here because I got different ideas for the engine later that I'm not going to be using this intake. I'll still be using this, hopefully. I won't be using any of this extra intake shit. Anyway, let me get back to work. See you in a bit. Alrighty, might have a little bit of a problem. I have to get new bolts or nuts or whatnot, because some of the old bolts are getting... The bolts are threaded into the plastic, and some of the nuts are kind of rusty. so it's unthreading the bolt out of the plastic. So I have to figure out how to adjust that. I tried cutting it off on that side, but it didn't do anything. So I'm gonna figure that out. I think I might just pull the studs out of the new ones and just screw them onto the, do that way. But I'll show you how to disconnect these headlight adjusters. The other side just clipped off, like this one up here. Never mind, I gotta figure that out, so I'll get back to y'all on that. Okay, yeah, so you just kind of rock and wiggle them and they'll come out. Like I already did this one. So I'm gonna try to do this top one and get it on camera as much as I can. The angle sucks pretty bad. There we go. They're pretty rusty, so they should just come right out. There we go. See, they're only plastic clips with the hex head in them. They're pretty rusty, so they kind of suck. But that's how you do it. Like I say, you got one bolt right here, and 2 bolts on the other side, and same but opposite mirrored on the other side. So I'm gonna get this old headlight out, and we'll figure it out from there. Alrighty, so this is what I was talking about with the studs. The camera will focus for me. Hello. There we go. They all unscrewed out of the plastic instead of actually unscrewing from the thing, so I'm going to have to unthread them from the new bracket and do it that way. Kind of didn't want to do it like that, but it is what it is. This side, you see I tried cutting it, but it didn't work out too well. So that one's going to be held on by the 2 screws. Because there's really no way for me to get a drill on that because it's just going to spin. And I guess I could hold it with a socket wrench, but I'll figure that out. I'm going to assemble this side first. Alrighty, so let me get the new headlight in there and show you all how I took the studs out. I got a couple tricks for that I've learned. Alrighty, see, I'll be right back. So that's the old light. As you can tell, it's all hazed. It's got a big crack on the top of it. Got a big crack on the top of it. Probably will see it better from this side. Yeah. It's all melted from when the light fell out of it. And all the adjusters are completely shot. On the new one, nice and clear. It's got the vent down the bottom, the vent on top to keep it from fogging. Looks like it's got its own new light retainer, which is broken on the old one. But it also looks like the studs I got to take out there, you got a hex on them, so that'll make it a lot easier. Because I was going to do a double nut method, which I still might show, but it's not necessary for these. I can just get a small socket on there and just spin these out. So that makes things a lot easier. Alrighty, let me go get the tools ready and I'll show you exactly what's up. Alrighty, so the first method is of course going to be the easiest one, and that's the actual size. And it seems to be a 5/32, though I think a 4mm will also work. Though it felt a little loose on it, so you just spin it off. Regular stuff. But the other method, the one I want to show, is the double nut method. What you do, you take 2 nuts. In this case, it's going to be 2 nuts at the passenger side, and you put one backwards onto the stud like this. Screw it most of the way down, about like that. Then take another one, and you screw it on the right way. Then what you do, you tighten them together. Let me put the socket on the ratchet real quick. Alright, you tighten them together, which I just did because I figured that would be easier. Then you loosen the back one. Loosen the back one up. Like so, and that will also spin it off. So that'll be good if you end up stripping out the head. Though this works, sometimes it doesn't work quite as planned. Sometimes it'll still spin. But this one's working pretty good because these are new studs. They're not rusty or corroded. So that makes it fortunate. Then after you get it all the way out, you just loosen them, then you're good to go. Yeah, I got the new headlight lenses installed, and they already look so much better. It's amazing how brand new headlight lenses, or even just clear headlight lenses, increases the look of the cars. It's like putting new tires on it. So I'm gonna get the turn signal and reflector lenses installed, and I'm gonna get back to you on that. Look at that. It's just sitting on there. I gotta adjust this reflector out a little bit. It's a little too close on the bottom for it to sit flush. But that looks sharp, man. Like I said, I got new bulbs. I'm missing this bulb, unfortunately, but I'm not too concerned about that. I can always change that later. That looks... I like that. That really makes this truck look a lot better. Well, I took apart the passenger side bezel, and turns out the reflector is being held on by like some type of silicone. Probably because the top was broken off. I am not going to do that. I'm just going to run it down with this one. Hopefully that's enough to hold it, since I don't have the other bolt. I don't know where to get those self-tapping nuts or whatnot. So I'm just going to assemble this side and hope for the best, I guess. Anyway, I'll show y'all when the product's finished. Alrighty, got them all installed and put back together. Lights in them, and they look sharp. They really improve the look of the front end, and I know this is going to be a lot safer. Only other thing to do is still align them, like aim them properly. I probably won't be able to get that on video because I have to do that while it's dark. But I'll tell you what you gotta do. You gotta park about 20 feet away from a flat wall. Then you gotta get the beams, use the adjustments on the lights. They're the same size. There's the same size bolt as the stud. So you just use the same tool you use to pull the studs out if your old studs won't come out of the truck. So you use those to aim them. You got one that controls the top. You got one adjusted at the top and two adjusted at the bottom. So you work around between those to get the beams pointed pretty much right forward. Now you don't want them too high, you don't want them too low, you don't want them too far off to the side. You pretty much want them right dead straight in front of you. So that's what you do about that. Like I said, I didn't know these were actual lights, so I am going to have to come back and replace those. It's unfortunate, but I ain't going to worry about it. I'm going to crack the lights on and see how they look. I just got to put the cable back on the battery right quick. That should be good enough. Woo, look at that. That looks good. This side, right, the marker light for this side was completely blown. Like, the turn signal will work, but the light was blown, and now it's working. So I fixed that problem too, but that looks sharp. I can't wait. Can't wait to actually be able to see at night. Anyway, I'm going to end the video off here. Well, actually, let me tell you something real quick while I turn the lights off. In the last video I said I was going to turbocharge the truck. Well, that's not going to happen. Multiple reasons. One being, I don't feel like pulling this engine to put the bung into the oil pan. Mostly because I don't have the tool, the shop crane no more. And I don't feel comfortable with just punching a hole inside the pan and changing the oil, because I know there'll be still shavings in there. Also, the intake, the stock Kager intake, there's a gasket underneath it, not the actual head gasket on the head, but it's just like a belly pan gasket or a plenum pan gasket. That is known to leak, which I believe it's a problem that this truck already has, because when I start it up, it poofs out a little bit of oil. Or if I let it idle for a while, it poofs out oil. But if I put any air pressure into that, it's going to make that leak worse, because it'll probably blow out the whatever remains of that gasket, which will cause an idle problem, vacuum problem, boost leak, etc. It'd be no good. So I would have to change this intake. Then by doing that, I might as well change the throttle body. And if I want to do that, I might as well change the cam. If I do that, I might as well put a lot better rocker arms on it, etc. And of course, a different type of ignition system, because the stock OBD1 ignition system is not going to be able to handle any type of forced induction or anything like that. So what I did was I ordered the throttle body, the intake, cam, and a couple other things still gotta do, but since I gotta change the cam anyway, I'm just gonna put a bigger cam in it and build this NA. Yeah, it's probably not the most cost effective thing, but I think it'll be great. I've always wanted a little rowdy V8 powered car, so that's what's happening with the truck. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Just stay updated, because next video I'm going to do the rear shocks on the Z. And yeah, just don't forget to tip your racers when you're done. Thank you. Alrighty, so I figure it is dark out to where I can aim the lights, but as you can see, the passenger side is way too far high and the driver's side is way too far down. Actually, they both could be up a little bit higher, but primarily the driver's side is the one that's a problem, and I could probably move the passenger side inward a little bit. But I'll show you the screws I need to adjust. Alrighty, so the screws you gotta look for are this one, and this one. These are your adjusters. So what you do, you take the appropriate size socket, you stick it on. Well, anyway, you stick it on here, you tighten it to go down, and you loosen it to go up, pretty much. Well, you tighten it to make the joint go that way, you loosen it to pull it back. So forward, back, forward, tight, loosen, back. You just got to get to where it's just right, where it won't blind people going down the road, and you can actually be able to see. So that's what you got to do. Now I'm gonna get that finished real quick, that way I can actually drive down the road without killing anyone. Anyway, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and tip your waitress.